Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by drroto.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is the college football game plan with your host, me, Chris Emrick, and the star of the show, Coach White. How you doing today?
Doing awesome, man. Just came in pretty hot. Got home after some traffic, grocery shopping, all that good stuff. So I'm ready to sit down, watch some football, and relax for the day.
Yeah, it's another action-filled day. You've got hockey, you've got basketball, you've got college football, you've got UFC starting in a couple hours. We had Nest, a minor league, major league, kind of weird quasi after season tournament for League of Legends. It's been going on from 1 to 6. It's hampering my sleep. I'm not staying up and watching it, but I am waking up periodically through the night to check on my lineups, which have done very well. My betting has done very well, and I hope you and I are going to put together something that does very well. I'm not playing the high stakes today. I forgot to register for some of them. Got the money tied into the UFC and some other things. So we're going to play the main tournament. We're going to play a winner take all. We're going to just try and take a little bit of profit and then cash in our parlay and bet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and add this to the stream for me and you. Where are we starting, or what do you want to talk about first as it pertains to the slate?
Yeah, so first thing, USC in California game. That's a no-go that was postponed due to COVID issues. So don't try to lock in any players from there if DraftKings will let you. I don't even know if they will. Outside of that, a couple games are going to cross off. We're looking at Minnesota and Iowa. Really nothing to like there. Very low total, 40s. We got a bunch of high-scoring games on this slate. I mean, I might even cross off that Georgia-Tennessee game. Georgia's a team we don't really attack offensively because they spread the ball out so much, and they're so good on defense. I don't think Tennessee will be able to get much going, even though the pricing is right on the Tennessee players. It's just it's not right enough. They'd almost need to be 3,000 to think about it. Georgia's playing that well. Outside of that, man, there's pieces in every game I'm looking at. A few quarterback injury news, like IU. I'm waiting to see if Michael Penix comes back. If he does, I really like one of Indiana's wide receivers. But outside of that game, that'd be another cross-off. Other than that, man, there's pieces in every game. So let's start at quarterback.
All right, you even find pieces in this Wisconsin Northwestern game that's like I think an over/under of like 37.
You could play the running back Braylon Allen for Wisconsin. He's 8,200. Ches Malusi just went out, so now Braylon Allen gets all of the carries for Wisconsin. So you won't see a bunch of. He's broken 100 yards his past 5 games, and that's with splitting carries. So that is an option. And Northwestern is terrible against the run, so that would be the only piece I would touch in that game.
Gotcha.
Outside of that, absolutely cross it off.
Okay, all right. Well, where are we starting at the quarterback position then?
I really like Will Rogers from Mississippi State against Auburn. Noon game, SEC matchup. Mississippi State, they've only lost 3 games this year, but every game they've lost has been within 3 points. Will Rogers he throws for that 300-yard bonus, I think, in every game but one. And the one game he didn't, he threw for 294 yards. He missed it by 6 yards. So they throw the ball so much. He looks at about 45 to 55 attempts in every single game. And at 7,400, it's just a great price for a matchup that I think that Mississippi State can actually beat Auburn secondary. And I like this almost a game stack because Bo Nix at 6,100, Auburn's quarterback, he has hit or miss games, but really he plays best at home and against SEC opponents. You'll see he has a couple 30-point games, and those are against SEC teams. So I don't mind that bring back spot if you wanted to stack up Rodgers to start. And then if maybe you got to that super flex and you're around 6,000, you're like, I really don't know what to do. I really like fitting in Bo Nix there to having both quarterbacks in that game.
All right, well, I put him in. Now, if we're going to go with a quarterback from Mississippi State, Will Rogers, that throws the ball a ton, we most likely want to go ahead and stack him with somebody. It looks like his premier option is Mekhi Polk. Or do we want to kind of step down to Mr. Jaden Walley, perhaps?
Yeah, so with this Mississippi State team, since he spreads it out so much, my favorite value in this is playing Dylan Johnson, the running back, at 3,900. He sees about 5 to 6 receptions a game. So you have Jacavius Marks as well, who's like their number one, but Dylan Johnson normally comes in these tight SEC battles, and you'll see he averages about 13 points a game, and he's game script dependent, but in every game he has a minimum of 3 receptions. So I really like him. Mekhi Polk is the best option, but 7,600, I'm looking to pay up for a running back, and Mekhi Polk is more of a reception receiver. So he could get you 10 receptions, 100 yards. You're looking at 23 points, but his touchdown upside just really isn't there. So I think if I'm playing anybody with him, it's going to be Marks or Dylan Johnson at 3,900. I definitely won't play Jacavius Marks at 67. We just have better options in that range at running back.
Okay.
So, up to you, man. What do you go with? Did you lock in? Let me look. I like Dylan Johnson, but Mekhi Polk is definitely the safer play.
Yeah, I think Mekhi Polk is kind of the way to go here. I mean, touchdowns in 5 of his games. He's really got the ceiling that we're looking for. He's not overly expensive. I think we can find some other places to save some money if we're going to game stack this. So I'm going to lock in Mekhi Polk here.
All right. I like it. Can't go wrong there.
So I think we are going to need to, before we go back to the running back situation, since we do want to pay up there in a lot of cases, we do need to find some cheap wide receivers, some inexpensive guys. I mean, I'm looking at this, and there's some names that we talk about all the time, from Chris Olave, David Bell. You've got Smith Najabe, who just absolutely lit it up for me last week with 48 points, but he's super expensive. I don't know if he fits into this team. Going down a little bit, who are we looking at?
Yeah, so I love that Ohio State passing attack, but Smith and Jagbe, he had that game because Garrett Wilson went out. There was that late breaking news.
Yeah.
Then he shot up to the number 1 priced Ohio State wide receiver when really he's 3rd in the pecking order. It just ended up that Olave got the double coverage last week, so Smith and Jigba just went off. Absolutely nuclear. I think he had like 200 some yards, 11 receptions. So if I'm playing anybody in that game, so you said you bet the over before we get on this on the Purdue Ohio State game. Is that correct?
Yeah. If it and then the other 10 things happen, my $20 free bet will turn into 173,000. So needless to say, I'm already thinking about what to spend that on because it seems like a lock. 11 team parlay, includes the Jags, the Jets, the Falcons, like all types of good stuff, man.
Yeah. So, with that, I don't know if that hits the over, but if it does, it'll be through the passing attack. But my favorite play from that game is Trayvion Anderson at 8,500, the running back. I feel like this is the game where he gets the 3 touchdowns and everybody's playing the wide receivers after a big week. It just has that feel for me because Purdue does a really good job of slowing down running backs. So I think he could be a great low ownership running back that has 4 touchdown upside. Ohio State has those random games where their running back goes for 200 yards. And this really feels like that week to me.
So if he's doing that, I almost feel like we need to lock in David Bell coming back. Just on the basis that if Ohio State's in the lead, they're controlling the game, I think David Bell is going to get a lot of attention. You could tell me that I'm wrong. His price is attractive, 6,700. Purdue has played the spoiler quite a bit. And after playing the spoiler last week to Michigan State, Ohio State is now this newly. I think they're in the top 4, right? Am I correct in that?
Yep.
So this is another spoiler game for Purdue. I like it.
Yeah. So my favorite play for Purdue is actually Payne Durham. You'll find him at 3,800. He's the tight end. So against these good defensive teams, you'll see against Wisconsin where they shut down Bell. He went off for 9 for 112 and a touchdown. Earlier in the year, when Bell had a bad game against Oregon State, he went off for 7 and 120 and 2 touchdowns. Last week, he was injured, so he didn't play, and the backup tight end saw 7 targets. So, it's not like the quarterback really likes to pepper the tight end in this offense, and I think David Bell definitely receives double coverage. So I like Payne Durham as my value wide receiver this week. He's one of my favorite plays at 3,800.
All right. I will tell you that I do hesitate with these, sub 4K plays in college football. It just feels like we've never nailed them on the right week, but I'm going to trust in you here. I look through the game logs. It looks like what you're saying checks out. So we're locking in Mr. Durham.
All right. I like it.
All right, so we got 5,500. We've got a running back, a wide receiver, and a flex. Because I did go ahead and put Bo Nix into that super flex position. I think that is a very attractive play at 6,100. Gives us a lot of upside, and kind of Look, hey, by 3:00, we'll know if we're live or dead, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, maybe by 1:30. Really?
Don't say that. Hopefully, the fourth quarter is exciting in that Auburn Mississippi State game. IU though, let's go there. Let's go to Freifogel at 4,600 for wide receiver. So we're looking for a little bit of value somewhere. Freifogel still sees a 26% target share in this offense. He's the thing is it's been a roulette wheel of quarterbacks. He's played with 4 different quarterbacks this year, but this week it looks like IU has Penix back. Let me see. Yes, so the coach said that there will be multiple quarterbacks ready today, which means Penix and Jack Tuttle are back. Penix peppers Freifogel with targets. This Rutgers team was just beaten 52-3 by Wisconsin, and they lost in the air against Wisconsin and on the ground. I mean, they can't stop anybody. They have 2 wins on the entire season. I love Freifogel at 4,600 this week.
Let me ask you, so that puts us in the 6K range. A game that has a pretty decent over-under is going to be that Michigan State Maryland game. Do we have, for some reason I just can't see it on my screen. I know I'm obviously missing this somewhere.
It's the 4:00 game. You got to go one more arrow over.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that was over. I'm like, man, I'm really having a hard time here. What about Jaden Reed?
Yep. Lock it in, man. He's my favorite wide receiver on the entire slate. That's where I was going next. I absolutely love Jaden Reed.
So that puts us in kind of a weird price range for running back. We're at 5,900. That gives us guys like James Cook, Tank Bigsby, Evan Hall. I'm not going to try and say this guy's name just on the basis that I'm making some weird comments today with my words. So I don't want to mess it up. It's a tough one, right?
Let's see. I'm sorry. What's the pricing? I can't really see.
We're looking at 5,900.
5,900. Okay.
We've got Thompson, we've got Fleet Davis, we've got Irving, Fatima Tua. If we go up a little bit, I guess that's the next thing that we can do. We can look at like guys like Marks, Zamir White, or Kai Thomas. That would be bringing us down off of Bo Nix, though.
Okay. That's such an awkward position. That's where I was locking in Dylan Johnson at 39, and that just opened up so much.
So if we go do Dylan Johnson and make this a bigger game stack.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we're going with Dylan Johnson, and it's not like he's going to steal anything from Mekhi Polk, because let's say he does rush one in, all right, which is unlikely. He doesn't really rush touchdowns in. He still gets his 6 receptions for 40 yards, and maybe he busts one. I mean, Will Rogers is still throwing the ball 50 times a game, so it's not like Mekhi Polk is going to be hindered by Johnson getting receptions there. So we could play all 3 and have a big game stack.
So what that gives us a couple options in our wide receiver position, because I think where we upgrade then if we do that is the 4,600 guy that you gave me. It puts us in a spot where we could play Chris Olave, we could play Nzukama, or even a guy like Marvin Mims, who looks like he has kind of boom or bust position potential, along with Hazelwood. Do any of those guys interest you, or even a Robinson from UCF?
Let's see. Yes. So I mean, Olave is extremely interesting. But with Henderson, we're kind of we almost need Ohio State to put up 45 points for that to really pay off for us. Because I'm banking on Henderson getting 3 touchdowns. Olave would need, well, really at 66, that's a great price. He'd only need 1 in 100 yards, which is realistic. So I don't mind that at all. That almost gives us 2 game stacks where we have Purdue and Ohio State we're watching, and then we're watching the Mississippi State and Auburn game, which I'm fine with. I mean, some of my best scores ever happen in these afternoon slates when I only have 2 to 4 games to choose from. Sometimes we spread ourselves too thin with 14 different games and 19 different players from 16 different teams. It doesn't really work out all the time. So I don't mind, just playing 2 or 3 games and making it work that way.
All right, let's do it. Let's lock it in. It's a Big Ten SEC kind of game day. And let's go lock that in. Let's import that to here. And then let's move on to the next part of the show. My personal favorite. Let's go to the sports book.
Hit it.
All right, so I think it's a 4-team parlay today that they have instead of the 5. I know you might have 5 prepared, but I think we had the best luck when we went with 4. And that's just the bonus that they're giving. So let me take a look real quick, just as I'm opted in on a 4. Yep, it's a 4-leg college football parlay. So where are we going? What are you feeling?
I'm going to go to that Mississippi State game. They're at -5.5. And like I said, every game that they've played in, even if they've lost, has been within 3 points. So, I mean, I love Mississippi State at 5.5.
I have Mississippi State +4.
+4. Okay, yeah, maybe I was – that's fine. That's even better. I had them at -5.5.
Okay, all right. I was like, hey, I mean, maybe it was supposed to be +5.5, but
yeah. No, I see them winning this game, and I see them winning it by about a touchdown. So that's great. We'll take that price.
Okay, so that's the first one that we got. What else are we looking at?
I like UCF. I have them at -7. I hope that's what you have, Matt.
I have a +7. So maybe you have these all flipped.
Huh, weird. All right. Well, yes, +7. Take it.
Okay. If you liked it at -7, you love it at +7, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. What else do we got?
Let's see. South Carolina against Missouri. I had them at -1. Are they at +1?
I don't know. I haven't got.
South Carolina's winning this game. I love that.
What time is that game at?
I think it's a 3 o'clock game.
Okay, so 3 o'clock game.
I think.
Let's take a look.
All right, DK Sportsbook. You need a search function. I know.
Well, yeah, they really do. What is South Carolina is what?
They're SEC actually.
East. Yep.
Yes.
So I have South Carolina -1.5.
That works. We'll take that.
All right.
So that's 3, right? We need one more.
We need one more.
I like Oklahoma State -12. They were a night game or 4 o'clock. They're in the afternoon for sure. Oklahoma State.
There it is, -11.5.
We'll take it. I like it. There you go. That's your parlay for the day.
All right, we're just throwing 50. We got a little boost on that. They're probably going to take away the 50 and max it. Oh, apparently they allowed that. All right, so it's 50 to win, 886. We're going to do something a little bit different on this too. So, you liked a couple of these teams to win. So we've got this South Carolina right here. Let's get a little crazy. You liked both of these games to be wins for both UCF and Mississippi State. Let's see kind of what that does. If they do win, we're going to pick up another 800, and then we're going to go ahead and just hope that one of the other teams doesn't blow it for us, and we're going to do this, pick up another 4, and we're good to go there.
Nice.
So, hey, we got a little bit of a late start, but we kind of trucked through this. The season is almost over. Is there anything else that you want to talk about today, or do you want to get out of here and finish up some lineups?
Yeah, let's finish up some lineups, man. I've been running around all morning, so if anybody has questions, hop on Discord. I'll be waiting in there until lock. Definitely breaking down some late injuries if there's any, but other than that, man, it's been good. Let's get out of here and enjoy our Saturdays.
All right, fantastic. Have a good one.
You too. Take it easy.